Hello, everyone, and welcome
That
to
face.
the Thursday. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh.
Are you?
I'm Jeff Cavanaugh I don't know. I'm me. I'm a YouTuber.
Some about to be some group that meets once a week. Maybe introduces themselves.
That's Bryan Broaddus of 105.3 The Fan, G-Bag Nation. Wonderful show, 2 to 7 p.m.
Thank you, man.
Also, Love of the Star
Yeah.
podcast.
What else do I do, Jeff?
He's a part of a race team.
Oh,
He's got a car that do the long drives. They drive
endurance racing. There you go.
Yeah, they do long drives. He's my crawfish boil dad. He taught me to crawfish boil.
Boy, we talked about this last show.
I got it.
You did. I know you got it, man.
I got it.
Seriously, you don't need me anymore.
I'm doing one Saturday.
Kick me to the curb.
I'm doing one Saturday again because I
plan on showing up.
The season's almost over, and you got to get them in.
Yeah, we got a couple more weeks for sure.
Brian, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Shh. BetOnline is your number one source for the NBA Finals, which suck, and the Stanley Cup Finals this season. Every stat, matchup, live odds, and spreads while games are being played. When the game's over, go on over to the online casino. Get in on a game of blackjack or poker. Unwind with one of the over 150 slot games. Head to the website today. Get in on the action. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here.
It sucks unless you pick Boston in 6
or in 4.
Yeah. Boston in 4 looks pretty good right now.
I was
there last night, man. That was tough. Hey, the fans did their job. Dallas fans usually, you talk about suck, and I'm from Dallas, so I can say that.
Yeah.
You know, we're usually not very good fans. The playoffs and hockey fans were tremendous. Stars fans are great.
Yeah.
The Mavs fans did everything in their power last night to will that team to win. You know, it got rough there and they came back. But anyway, we're here talking football. But yeah, Dallas fan base, man, you did your part. And, you know, you got one more shot, hopefully, you know, to kind of extend this series on Friday. And I know they'll show up and be ready.
I like to think that you have your fans and then you have your players, and one's the hot dog and one's the bun.
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
That's what I like to think.
Could you use a hot dog right now with your condition?
I could use a hot dog right now.
A couple of them probably, right?
I might go get a couple hot dogs right when this is over.
I bet you do.
And buns, because I could use some buns.
Yeah.
So we were talking about before I hit the go button.
You have no problem getting buns. Don't worry about that part.
We were talking before I hit the record button. I asked people for questions. There's always ways to talk about Cowboys football.
Sure.
I didn't know what exactly today was going to be. And then we realized before we hit go that I'm hungover. And
you're hungover.
And
your face looks hungover.
And you said,
your eyes, I can't even look at you, man.
I'm never going to drink again. It's sober Jeff time. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
And you were like, man, I had a bunch of questions to fire.
I did. I had a bunch of questions.
I don't feel like you're up to it. And I was like,
no,
that's perfect. I want the struggle. Bring them on. Hit me with your.
I don't know if I can ask you third tight end questions today.
Give me like the Steven kid. I like him. I like
the John Stevens kid. Yeah, it's a good guy to like. You know, I asked Voch Lombardi this question about in the platform we had last week, and I love working with you and Voch on these things. And I asked him this question. He came up with an interesting answer. You know, about the player that has the most pressure on him, and he's talking about the obvious answer is, you know, with Dak is the one that has the obvious, and he ran into Micah Parsons and some other things. You know, that was kind of the angle. But if there's a player that, man, there is a ton of pressure on him this season. And you know, again, you could say Dak and you could say Micah.
No, I won't cheat. That's cheating.
I mean, that's kind of the low-hanging fruit to me.
Yeah,
but
they're true.
Great job. I mean, he said, no, you could talk about those, but I'm interested in what hungover Jeff Cavanaugh thinks.
Okay, I would say I have two names that jump to mind.
Mm-hmm.
One is Terrence Steele.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm changing the question a little bit there, where it's like most to prove in terms of like, I'm thinking guys who are really, really important that the season could go
I'm
off the
talking about
rails.
pressure on the player.
Tyler
Pressure.
Guyton.
You're talking about improve. I'm
Tyler
talking
Guyton.
about pressure.
I think
Guyton.
Tyler Guyton has a ton of pressure on him.
Yeah, see, there you go.
You're already looking at an offensive line where Zach Martin kind of needs to – it's weird to say like he needs to bounce back. Like he was fine last year. He
wasn't as good as he was the previous year.
Yeah, but he was good. But when you talk about you had a lucky year of healthy Tyron playing at a really, really high level, and now you're going to have a young right tackle move to left tackle, take over for Tyron. By the way, we didn't do enough to improve this team in the offseason. So if you're not very good, our quarterback's going to die. I think Tyler Guyton has got a lot of pressure.
In a football way.
Yes, in a football way.
How about Brock Hoffman?
No, because it's not Brock, because he's not going to start, Brian.
Okay, but you know
Stop it with Brock.
What if Mike Solari, all of a sudden you're smiling and you're saying that and all these things. I can't even look at you right now. Without wanting to hand you like a big Coke with a lot of ice.
I got water.
I know you got water. Maybe need some Pedialyte.
I have Pedialyte in the fridge.
I know you do. I saw it when I tried to get some ice the other day at your place.
Yeah,
I thought about taking it myself as a preventative. Sure. Brock Hoffman. What if all of a sudden it's like we can't play two rookies on this offensive line, and it turns into at least at center, let's try Brock Hoffman, veteran guy. We all love BB. I've seen work of yours, get on the BB train and all that. And, I've seen that and you're right. But what if this offensive line, what if this coach says, listen, we can't afford, especially with everybody's job on the line. What if, I want to play all the rookies because my job's not on the line.
Yeah.
But what if you're these coaches and you're thinking, rookie center, rookie left tackle, can we afford to do this?
Then there would be a lot of pressure on Brock Hoffman. I think there's a lot of pressure on whoever plays center. There's a lot of pressure on Guyton. There's pressure on Steele to be better than he was a year ago, because that is the one part of this team where you're used to getting somewhere between adequate and good play, and an offseason where, again, they're not trying their best this year.
Yeah.
They're doing like a salary cap reset, do our best while being responsible year. That's the one thing that could kind of break this thing. Because I think the Cowboys are going to be a good team. I think they win 12 every year. They're going to win 10 to 12 games. I believe that. Unless your rookie left tackle struggles, your center struggles, your right tackle doesn't bounce back. In that case, I don't care how good Dak is. If we can't block, we can't win. And on top of that, we don't have running backs.
See, now here's my next question.
You got to block.
How about my next question for you then? We talk about pressure. Is there pressure is it on a position or is it on Ezekiel Elliott to deliver?
To me, there's no pressure on Zeke, but that's just an expectations thing. People get mad at me all the time because they think I hate Zeke. I don't hate Zeke.
What if he's the starter? Is there pressure on him to deliver? And people, there's a lot of Cowboy fans out there, and man, Jeff and I love you. A lot of you are loving having Zeke back. I personally don't think the starting running back's on this team right now.
I hope the starting running back's not on this team right now, because I don't appreciate that Jerry Jones is obviously. Steven, obviously. Jerry obviously listens to me, and he was like, look.
Oh, I thought he was saying he was listening to you.
No, he is. He
would listen to you if you were at a bar because you recommend really good drinks.
Jerry listens to my YouTube channel.
He should.
And he went back to Steven, and he was like, Steve, this Cavanaugh, he say running backs don't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to not matter with them. We're just going to get whoever, and maybe people will buy, and they will, and they might, and they'll buy Zeke's jersey if we give them a different number. So let's do that. They went way beyond.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things. When I've always worked with you, with your Jerry, and you close your eyes to do it because you have to get into character.
And you got to get in character. It's hard to get there. You got to get there, and that's how you do it.
By the way, If you buy a Zeke jersey, I'd buy the Ohio State 15 and wear it to the games.
I like that.
I wouldn't wear the Dallas 15.
I like that. That'll make you a bad Cowboy fan because you don't fit in. You get the wrong colors on.
You know what? I don't care. If I'm going to Zeke wearing number 15 at Ohio State was like a legendary.
Dude, that guy was so good.
Oh my gosh.
That guy was so I remember when Zeke was good.
Yeah.
That was fun when Zeke.
But anyway, I interrupted you. I always do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was saying. So
no,
it really doesn't matter.
But you were doing your Jerry and you were talking about that.
Oh, dude, they pretend like they just don't need a running back.
The expectations, yeah.
They just pretend they don't need a running back, which is interesting. God. As a guy who's been campaigning that direction, I'm like, right, but not nobody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying don't spend $15 million on it and don't spend a high first-round pick on it. I hope Leafau. I hope Leafau's a player, their third-round linebacker. I hope he's a player. Because that was your running back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing stuff out of Green Bay that Lloyd from USC has looked really good.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But it's OTAs. I mean, another 6 weeks will be, and by the way, Jeffrey, we'll be at camp full time. So you and I'll be doing shows. We'll have me at camp and you maybe being at camp and doing stuff.
I'll go. I don't care.
Okay, cool.
They won't let me in. I mean, they'll let me in to watch.
They like you. They'll figure something out.
They don't like me. I don't know why, but they don't like me anymore. I talked to one of my guys out there. He's like, I can't help you. And I was like, you're
what?
Yeah.
They don't hate you more than they hate me. They're nice to me to my face. And
but they can't stop you because you home of the Cowboys. They can't stop you. So they hate you.
Yeah. Wait till they see me in that Cowboys officials badge again, walking around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be really happy about that.
I'll be watching from the stands, and then you and I will do a show from the
hey, you know what? The stands, if people are listening to us and you're going to camp and Jeff and I are out there, look us up because you can sit with us and talk and stuff like that.
Just no drinking. I don't drink anymore.
Well, if you buy Jeff a beer, he'll appreciate that too.
I don't drink.
The Rudder Room. Are you kidding me? You're the mayor of the Rudder Room. You are the mayor. Trust me, the dude that owns the Rudder Room loves you. Our big guy that loves to talk Pac-12 football. There's cool Pac-12.
I always run into the guy
God, I love the Rudder Room.
I always run into the Cowboys travel truck driver guy, the guy who moves all the stuff. Yeah,
Red's like, if you're the mayor of the Rudder Room,
he's the president.
He's the deputy of the Rudder Room.
He's the CEO. I have no idea where I found an Allen wrench or why I'm holding it.
You didn't make a swing set in your backyard, did you?
I made new patio furniture yesterday because I got to tell you now. This is where I miss radio is because people are going to get mad at this part of our video because I'm not going to talk about Cowboy football for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I got some new patio furniture because you know what I don't like in patio furniture, and it took me a long time to realize this.
If you can't get out of the chair,
well, that sucks. Yeah. I don't like the patio furniture that has the cushions because cushions
get wet.
You're right. Who's responsible enough?
Yeah, we've had a ton of rain. I noticed that the other day when we were out there cooking crawfish and you have all those cushions and you're trying to make people comfortable. And I'm like,
they're gross.
Nobody can sit in those cushions for 3 weeks.
Yeah. And they're gross. And because they get all gross and stained and they're disgusting. And so I got some new patio furniture to replace my crappy patio furniture with the crappy cushions. That's just the fabric-y.
Did you put it all together?
Oh yeah. I put it all together yesterday, Brian. I don't have a job, brother.
Did you have any leftover pieces?
My Venmo is at Jeff-Cavanaugh-1. I'm
Say
unemployed.
That again. What is it?
Jeff at Jeff-Cavanaugh-1. I'm unemployed.
By the way, too, help Jeff by looking at all these videos because he's got sponsors that help him.
Oh yeah. Per view. Yeah. That works out great. And hit the thumbs up for the algorithm. All those things. So yeah, I got new patio furniture because I realized cushions are not a winner because I'm not responsible enough to be like, oh, it's going to rain. Let's put the cushion somewhere. I'm not doing
I have a buddy like that.
I'm not doing it.
It is a 15-minute process to get the cushions out, put them up, set them up. And then when you're kind of had a little like you're overserved, then you got to take the cushions and put them back.
No.
And that's an ordeal when you've been overserved.
No. And so I also have, my backyard, I've got the pool, and then next to the pool is the big old not concrete, whatever it's made of, the wall where I can put an outdoor TV that you can watch while you're in the pool.
Not a bad idea too. I've done that before.
I'm an idiot.
I have left the TV out in the rain.
I've gone through 4.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Because I don't remember to go get the TV, and then it storms, and then it goes in the TV graveyard.
Do you just like walk it over to the fence and just push it over like you do everything else?
Yeah, I threw 3 TVs over the fence a couple weeks ago. The best thing, but in my neighborhood, people
we all want to be Jeff when we grow up, right?
No, not anymore.
Right.
Jeff's got to start being more responsible.
Back to the Cowboys. We got these sponsors are complaining about you right now.
We're not worried about sponsors. We're worried about the people watching. The people watching.
Yeah, the people watching. They
right now. They're like, is this what I came here for?
Yeah. Hey, do you like the cornerbacks? You like the cornerbacks you currently got? You think Diggs, all that's going to be okay? I'll tell you what, man. You know what's interesting about these cornerbacks a little bit? Like Eric Scott shown up, and Eric Scott, and I was talking with him with Vach a little bit in the 3 practices I watched. And I know Eric Scott, you're just looking down like, who the hell's Eric Scott?
No. I know who he is. He's just he's like my other Nashawn Wright. He's a guy that
I'm saying, but Nashawn Wright had in the last practice I watched, they tried to take Nashawn Wright vertically 2 times, and like he covered. One time it was Cooks, the other time it was Turpin. I'm like, oh, Nashawn Wright, that's who you are. And so, yeah, I've got these list of guys that I'm kind of like, bros, you guys need to like pick up game. Yeah. I tell you what, it's Fehoko. And I'm not talking about the wide receiver Fehoko that's gone. Junior Fehoko. They got you playing 3 technique, bro. You need to be a guy that they can rely on. Eric Scott, you making a couple of plays every one of these practices. I know. Eric Scott was from a previous regime, and so he might be pushing that rock up the hill right now is what he might be doing. But, he's at least trying to make some plays.
I think that guys like that are going to be really important because it's a season that they've decided they're going into where wherever they had their question marks, wherever all the people left, they went, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So, like, somebody's got to replace Dorrance and Fowler, and I know you drafted Nealon, and someone's got to be
playing 3 technique. I mean, I hope when we get to camp, I'm hopeful that he actually gets to play end. Yeah, I think they actually drafted him, Jeff, and I think you'll agree with this. I think they drafted him to be Tank's guy.
Yeah, to replace.
What did they draft Golston for? Golston, remember we thought Golston would be.
I thought he'd be a player, man. I
did too, man. I have a problem with these Iowa kids, by the way.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I have a problem.
You can't have a problem with the school.
The players.
That's fine, but they're people. They're not a school.
I know. It's the people.
You can't scout the helmet.
Laporta, the tight end, like good player, and then you're like, and then you don't want to talk about him as a good player, and then he turns in the NFL. He's a great player, and then the others that have come before, the Fants and people, but then Golston, I'm thinking like, dude plays with power. Yeah, and let people get his edge. Maybe you can get some pass rush out of him. Good run player. They're trying to find him a spot. Tackle, end. I mean, I'm kind of like, bro. I'm saying bro a lot today.
That's okay. You can bro. Maybe I don't like that the Cowboys tweener people,
I hate that, Jeff.
Let guys be their position. Like, yes, on 3rd and 8, an edge guy can line up in the middle and go rush. Yeah. But don't pretend people play both. Like, let them figure out the position that they're playing. And I feel like that's maybe where Golston's caught up is like, we don't have enough big guys. He's a pretty big end. He could play some tackle. He could let them do their job.
That's every time it used to be, I kind of talked about tweener guys. I think we did together a lot when, they think he's a tweener guy. Not tweener. They think he's position flex. It's one of Jerry Jones's favorite buzzwords. He'll got position flex. And you're like going like, okay, cool, position flex. And then you realize that position flex means they don't have a spot for him.
Yeah, or that they're not quite good enough at either.
Aaron Crawford was one of the greatest examples of position flex where Rod Marinelli thought he was a 3 technique, and they paid him like he was a big time 3 technique. And that's not his fault.
I did a cowboy hour with him once upon a time when I was a professional. And I was talking.
Did you ask him about getting overpaid?
No, I did not ask him about getting overpaid. I asked him about playing defensive tackle, and he was like, "Man,
it sucks."
This is not verbatim, but he was like, "Man, it sucks." He was just like, "Man, playing end is one thing." He's like, "Playing tackle the next day, it hurts."
It hurts.
It sucks.
Did you? How many of those Swedish meatballs did you eat when you were doing those shows?
2 orders, so probably 12.
Yeah, like they came out like you had to fight Brad Sham for them.
Yeah, 2
It's
orders.
like Brad would kind of mosey on over and like, the Swedish meatballs here.
I'm trying to remember who it was that did the Cowboy Hour one time that was just like, I'm taking full advantage of this. And it was like, let me get 2 orders of steak frites to go.
Oh no, it was Jay Novacek.
Yes.
I did the show with him. Jay Novacek brought his dog to the Cowboy Club. And I don't think it was a service dog or a support dog. I think he just brought his dog to Jerry's Cowboy Club. And we're doing the show, and I almost tripped over the dog going to the men's room. He's like, Jay Novacek took me and goes, bro, what are you doing? Watch yourself. And I'm like, I didn't know you were going to bring a dog to the show. My man ordered 3 tomahawk chops to go. No, one to snack on, 2 for the missus and himself, maybe 1 for the dog. Who knows? Who knows? We went from getting like quality, like, I mean, they were like interested in like, hey, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much. And, order what you want. The next time I did it, they gave us like a handshake. Like, hey, thanks for coming in. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going to get the Wagyu burger that I wanted so badly. Or
no. Here's the food we have prepared for you. And it's a to-go box of hamburger dill pickle slices. That's what you're going to have because Jay bankrupted us.
Jay, I was there at that show. 3 tomahawk chops. Those things were $120, $130 a pop.
Yeah.
And he just said, oh yeah, could you box up 2 of them and I'll take one right now.
Yeah.
And who knows? He might have been feeding like Wonder Dog under the table while he was eating but
Jay was he went from being one of my least favorite people to interview the first time I interviewed him to by the end of it, he was my absolute favorite because you just had to realize he's trying to F you up.
He is trying.
He just wants to make everything weird and uncomfortable and not say words. And once I understood that, boy, we had fun because I just be like, fine, let's talk about horses. Because I know you don't care about football. And he'd be like, hell yeah, let's talk about horses. And we had a great time.
Yeah. Jay's there's some interesting guys that have been through there, but Jay, if you're listening, Jay, probably not. Who knows? I hope you are.
No chance.
But we went from having like they're the best of the best to thank you very much. Yeah, you're like you said, here's your dill pickles. Go on about your merry way.
Yeah. So Jay Novacek is a hero.
He is a hero. Hey, would it surprise you?
Yes.
If Jalen Brooks beats out
Jalen Tolbert?
Yeah.
Yes. It would surprise me. But
you're the wide receiver whisperer in this team.
Yeah, I mean it's not really based on anything, I guess. It's just based on my perception of who they expect to get the run there and all that. But that is one of those positions that I feel like it's really hard if the team isn't giving you legit reps and a shot at it in today's NFL training camps because there's just so few real live reps that it's hard to make headway. But for a wide receiver, I don't think that's true because you just beat everyone's ass in one-on-ones and you can stand out. So I guess I would be surprised but not shocked because I don't think that they're in a great spot with wide receiver 3 at the moment. And I do think it's kind of open. I just expect Tolbert because he's been around and he carries some draft status.
I want to punch you right now.
What?
You like
Brooks? He showed you a little something?
No, because he's been around. God. That's why Chuma Doga's playing because he's been around.
Well, Chuma, never mind.
I know. I'd say I wanted to punch you, but I really don't.
You could punch me if you want.
I really don't.
I'll let you.
But no, it's funny because we always say why?
I liked Tolbert better coming out of college.
Why? But why do coaches do that? That's why they're playing some guy because he's been around.
Yeah.
How about he's not any good and let's try this guy.
He's been around. He was drafted higher. I liked him better coming out of college and just
made some improvement. He has made some improvement.
And haven't seen enough of Jalen Brooks to have a feel for what I really think about him. Like the guy that I wish they had a better plan for how they were going to use him as their third wide receiver is run Turpin out there, dude.
Yeah.
He's a problem.
You know what? I call you the wide receiver whisperer, and I know you haven't been able to go to the practices yet. They're doing that. They're doing what you're saying. I mean, I know, and I hope we don't get in trouble for scheme talk here because they usually frown on scheme talk, and things like that. But they are trying to figure out ways to get him involved. There's some short yardage things where they were like, they go in 11 personnel, and now the ball's going to him. 11 personnel, ball's going to him. Moving him here, moving him there, throwing him there. They're actually doing it with Deuce Vaughn too. I kind of felt like Deuce Vaughn. I had one shovel full of dirt, and I was, okay, Deuce Vaughn, too short. What are we going to do? And they've kind of figured out some things with Deuce Vaughn. Maybe this wide receiver, here we talk about, position flex, and they're saying all that. But Deuce Vaughn, on some third downs and fourth downs, getting him the football and showing reliability, picking things up. I mean, picking up okay, man, we're gonna throw you a ball here on 4th and 2. Cooper Rush, boom, takes a snap, throws it right to, okay, gain of 5, out of bounds. Here we go, kind of a thing.
Can I ask you a question about a very random guy?
Yeah.
Do you remember once upon a time? I was talking to Vach about this the other day. Do you remember once upon a time in that Tampa Bay playoff game where somebody must have been hurt and Izzy played the slot and he played it really, really, really well?
Yeah.
And since that day, I don't think I've heard his name. Do you know what they're like? What are they doing with him? Is he a corner again?
Yeah, he's a corner. They're playing him again in the slot. And I think the thing that happens to him is he's suffering from the fact that, pardon my yard work outside here. I don't know what we're doing here today. We just love to, we got, like, I live in a neighborhood with a lot of old people, and we just love to get up at 6 a.m. and do yard work and just do it all day.
That's badass.
It is. But the thing about with Izzy, he's kind of in that group of guys that maybe we have a scheme change, a coaching change, and it seems like he's the 2-step, 1 step forward, 2-step back guy, So, I mean, that's crazy.
I just remember he kind of got one crack at playing, and I was like, holy crap. I wouldn't have
thought.
Yeah,
he did. I mean, he's been ready. And he's been a pretty decent special teams player. I think there was a game he had an interference penalty on a punt or something like that, but he generally is pretty solid when they ask him to go play, but he might be in a bad spot now, with Jordan Lewis being back. I really do like Carson, the kid from Wake Forest. I think they do. He was practicing on the varsity field. I always talk about the varsity field with the 1s, and then the 2s and 3s are down at the JV field.
Was that because Diggs practicing?
Diggs hadn't been practicing, but man, I tell you what, I stand in there watching. Overshone was on the cords with Britt Brown. Boy, he looks good. And they're doing drills with him. They've got the strength coach over there, like, okay, it's and he's making a defensive call, and he's having to go through, and he's like stepping up, turning, spinning, running back, flat, curl flat coverage. Break out of that, drive to the outside. He's looking really good. And John Stevens is looking good too, the tight end. I know you mentioned him early in the show. Yes.
Timeout. On Overshone, because this is one of the things that I'm really interested in. He's one of the guys that I'm really hoping is going to play a bunch and make a difference.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears.
Do you think Overshone will be the second linebacker?
I asked
Kendricks
I asked Voch this question. I said, is Overshone going to be the best linebacker the Cowboys have?
That would be awesome.
See, I mean, but I'll tell you what, Leofau, Kendricks, they're doing something. Okay, and you're going to say, Broaddus, you're damn cheerleading again. No, I'm just trying to tell you what I saw.
Don't cheerlead.
These guys are actually can play coverage. It's crazy. Like
Marquise Bell could cover too. That's great till they call a run play.
Yeah, no, exactly. But now you've got size in there. Leofau, you got a little size in there, and I know with Eric Chiafalo, who I work with and stuff like that. I'm kind of sitting there like I'm sitting there going, okay, someone's showing up at my door, Jeff. Hear that?
That's fine. We've been here a half hour. Go answer the door. Have a great day.
All right, man. See you. Bye.
All right. See you later. Remember, everyone, you have no idea what anyone's going through. Be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.